Scott, she's been doing that for 16 years, but does it get any less impressive every time you see it?
I'll tell you, Cyborg looked great. She looked clean. She put some nice combinations together. But Leslie really impressed me. I mean, I don't think I can remember the last time Cyborg went 5 rounds. I mean, I honestly can't remember. You guys should research that because it's been a long time. And Leslie, she had her mind set that she was gonna, fight her heart out, and she did. And so, I think this is a victory for Leslie in a way. And Cyborg looked like a very smart, tactical, not rushing, taking her time on her punches, and she did what she had to do, and and she looked great.
Sure. And I mean, as a promoter, how many fighters do you think that are there out there that can even compete with her at this point? I know she called out Kat Zingano. Maybe there's a few others as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I just like Leslie, there's girls that call us all the time and say, I want to fight Cyborg, and it doesn't stop. It keeps coming. So listen, these ladies want to challenge themselves. They want to fight the world's best, and they know she's the GOAT. So they all have a bullseye for her.
It's pretty unusual, I think, in MMA for a champion to kind of get on the microphone after a title defense and say who they want next. Do you like that Zingano fight?
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's one of the reasons we bought Kat here is that, she has a victory, I believe, over Amanda Nunes. So this is something that I think that she came here to fight Cyborg, and I think she's had a couple fights and she feels pretty good about it. Will we do that fight next? I'm not sure, but we'll definitely have a conversation, next week with everybody.
In the co-main event, Leandro Higo defeating Dario Caldwell. Did you agree with that decision? And what do you do with Higo? He's great at bantamweight, but he misses weight a lot.
Yeah, that's a tough one because I didn't see that fight, the exact scoring, like how it came out. Listen, I don't want to second guess the judges and the rest because that's a very tough job. But I had it a little bit closer than what the score was. So, to me, I thought that DC looked good. I thought he was busy. I thought he was doing what he had to do. And Higo, he's a great fighter too. So he won the fight. He gets to advance. DC has to maybe rebound just a little bit and see what's next for him. But I think we're going to keep both those kids busy and get them going.
And then the main card opener, Valerie Lorena getting her first professional loss. Where do you think her stock's at right now? Where do you think it's at? As a promoter, are you still very high on her future, or what do you think she needs to do from here?
The one thing you have to remember about Valerie is she's still a young fighter, right? She only has, 4 fights? Talk to me after she has 10, 11, 12 fights, then we'll have a better picture of that. But I was sitting there talking to Dan because she works out at AT&T in Florida. And, we said, hey, she's young, she'll rebound, she'll work on her ground game, she'll, eventually put it all together. So she's got time, and I know that, especially what Dan was telling me, he says, Scott, this girl is in the gym, and she's throwing bombs at people, like she wants to fight. She wants to fight everybody all the time. So she's got that spirit. It's just, put a little bit more pieces together, work on transitional, elements of MMA, and, she'll get it together.
Mike? Scott, congratulations on a great night. I just had one question. It doesn't really regard to the card itself, but I know you've been asked a lot about the middleweight division and where Gegard Mousasi is going to go, and I know you plan on having him fight this summer, and I thought that the plan seemed to be that he would fight John Salter, but a couple of times in the broadcast it was mentioned that Mousasi was going to fight Tokov. Is that the fight, or do we know where we're going with that?
Yeah, the fight with Gegard is not decided, but I believe we'll, have that fight together probably by the end of this week. Have a date, and I want to talk to Gegard first about his opponent before I get it out to the media. But Gegard will fight in the next few months, and we'll announce opponents soon.
And then one last thing, Danny Sabatello came in on a week's notice and beat Brett Johnson. I know Brett was a highly touted free agent from the UFC, comes over, and Sabatello on 6 days' notice goes in there and gets a dominant decision. Where do you think that puts him in the overall scheme at 135 pounds after tonight's win?
I mean, definitely his stock went up, and the nice thing is on Monday after the rankings come out, you'll see exactly how much his stock went up.
John Carlo?
Hi, Scott. Great event tonight. Just one question for me about the prelim women's featherweight fight, Layne McCourt and Janae Harding. Where do you make of that fight, and where do you see Layne McCourt going for you? Because she was another fighter who missed weight. Like, do you think that's going to jeopardize her ranking come this week?
I mean, fighters should make weight, and she traveled a long way, and and didn't make it. But I'm sure the next time she fights, she'll be fine. This is the first time ever that I've heard of her missing weight, so I don't think it's an ongoing issue or an ongoing problem. Will be an ongoing problem. I thought Janae was actually on her way to win that fight. Then she got caught with that up kick, and then she got submitted. But hey, Leah's a tough girl, and she is the one that asked for that fight and actually wanted to step up her competition. So hats off to her. And if Janae was here and I was talking to her, I'd tell her, hey, don't put your head down. You're doing great, and this is just another fight, another experience, and you just move forward from here.
Chris?
Hey, Scott, congratulations on a fantastic card again. Now, two-part question. First, they've been making noise. Kayla Harrison wants Cyborg. Cyborg wants Kayla Harrison. I know you have always said you love making super fights. You like, working with other promoters. Do you see it possible that, down the line, Cyborg, Kayla Harrison could happen, whether it's on ESPN, whether it's on CBS, something where it's that, that big super fight where you love?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all about it. It depends on the timing, the business deal. We haven't done a deal with anybody. I mean, we haven't done a deal with anybody with Kayla or her representation or Ray's company. So it's there's some things to work out to get to that point. In the meantime, listen, we have plenty of girls to fight Cyborg, and Kayla sounds like she's going to be busy. But at some point, I would love to see that fight, and I know Cyborg would too. And if I'm Kayla, I'd want to fight her as well, because Cyborg is the biggest star right now. So I think Kayla has a lot to gain by fighting Chris Cyborg, and so that's something that could happen in the future. And how it gets put together and the business deal, that's going to be the devil's in the details.
All right, we'll take a couple more. Darren?
Scott, congratulations on another wonderful event there at Mohegan Sun. All the matches on the main card, except the main event, technically went the distance. Is that something that you're happy about as a promoter?
I'll tell you, it's when you look at tonight's card, I thought we had a great fight card, and I'm proud of the fight card that we put together. And I thought, Mr. Van Sant's fight was unbelievable. I thought it was a great fight. The main event, I think Chris probably looked the most seasoned I've ever seen her, because usually she's a little bit busier, but this time she looked very tactical and very, very seasoned, and a veteran, that she is. So she didn't waste a lot of technique, didn't waste a lot of time. I thought she did what she had to do. And then, the fight with Valerie, I think that everybody got something out of tonight's event. So, but from top to bottom, I thought the fights were solid and they delivered.
Maria?
Hi, Scott. Maria with Doing Bo's podcast. Again, I have to agree, wonderful event. I know you've already been asked about Valerie, but I'd like to kind of switch gears and ask about Hannah. She put on a fantastic performance, obviously winning the fight. And in the post-fight, she seemed to allude that she was unsure of her future at Bellator. So based on her performance and her win over Valerie, do we expect to see her in the rankings next week? And what does her future look like at Bellator?
Well, I can address the ranking. The ranking is really done by the media, and so the media will decide where she ends up in the ranking. Listen, she beat Valerie. I thought, she did a good job. She did what she had to do. To me, I think we'll definitely, work with her again, and you'll see her in the cage, hopefully soon.
Last one here. Gabriel?
Hey, Scott, I just want to ask you announced today that Juliana Velasquez will be making her title defense against Denise. I was just wondering about the decision to have her fight Denise first. I think a lot of people were maybe thinking it would be Liz Carmouche.
Yeah, I think that this is something that we talked with the fight team internally. They felt really good about it, and we pulled the trigger. And I'm telling you, this fight is going to be a barn burner. You know, a lot of people underestimate Denise Kiholt's MMA skills because she's a world championship kickboxer. And if you look at Juliana's style, she is a striker as well. So I think you're going to see fireworks on the July 16th card.
Great. Thanks for the time,
Thank you.
Scott.